basically what you're supposed to do if like you have to do hard tasks for too long is you're supposed to take a little bit of sugar. Like they did a study where they had people do some things that were uncomfortable, and they gave one sample like some artificial sweetener. You give the other sample some sugar, and the side that had sugar was able to like sort of have the more mental aptitude to keep doing the hard task. So the idea here is
Ah.
basically like in esports, you see managers giving their players bananas a lot, like small bursts of sugar. But that stuff is actually grounded in science and it helps a lot. They should like try to reset, maybe take a small walk, reset their mind, and have something like that in between games, especially after you play against Eternal Envy. Really helps.
Definitely. Poor Envy. Always just getting you just get mercilessly roasted after he gets knocked out of TI.
That's true. That is a bit harsh and mean, but it's just so free and fun. I mean, I've played with Envy on teams for like 4 years in total or something, so right. I think we have a pretty good rapport. So
he knows it's true too. So
yeah, he does. I tell him so.
I consider stuff like that a treat, like being able to listen to these types of conversations and comments. It gives me good insight. But yes, we have 4 Zoomers chose first pick and Undying then chose Radiant as their side. Thank you very much, Pop Tart, for giving us the information. And it looks like we're getting some bans and picks underway. And of course, 4 Zoomers picking that axe that Jenkins had mentioned from the last panel as well.
Mm-hmm. Very interested. Yeah, these teams have like prepped out. They anticipate what it is that the draft's going to be. I will say that the Viper Wyvern, I mean, it just sort of aesthetically looks weird. I'm trying to figure out if it's actually good or not, though. The two
T1 ran this combo a lot, ESL1, and it looked pretty good there. Like, the idea is, like, Viper's a good hero if the fights are long, and Wyvern prevents anyone from getting bursted. So, and then you just have, like, this insane sustained magical damage. I think the... I mean, it's stupid because we're 2 picks in, but I really like Undying's draft right now. Like, it would be scary for me as 4 Zoomers. Maybe it's like a misread on my part on the Axe hero. Like, I don't know about him as much, but I feel really comfortable if I was in Undying shoes.
Yeah, and we now see the Invoker come out as well. So this is something that's pretty interesting. You know, it's kind of feels like an answer to the Wyvern in a way, right? Because you've got this Cold Embrace that's sort of thought of as this broken mechanic, something that's really annoying to have to deal with. And you get the Holy Locket, but now you've got like Axe Call, and then on top of that, if later on you get into the Manta style or whatever, it's going to be pure damage going through it, doesn't really care about it. And then on top of that, eventually, Invoker Aghanim's with the Cataclysm coming down. So I'm kind of wondering if they're just going to try and play around this for Zoomers, sort of poke and prod a little bit with the Invoker and wait for the big calls. And then the big question becomes, all right, is it Sammy Axe or is it Brax Axe? And I am firmly on the Brax Axe, despite how difficult that is to say.
Jenkins himself also said that he would prefer that Brax tried the Axe and Sammy Boy picked something else. And we do have a lot of carries still in the pool. Only what is his name? Terrorblade and Medusa banned out at the moment, so maybe we have some good things coming up.
You know, speaking of Brax Axe, there was a time where Dodo was bugged, and you could make your username as long as you wanted, and Brax made his name Brax Axe for the entire screen. He was the most obnoxious player to play against. So I really hope he plays Axe and he's that obnoxious because it was unplayable. Like I had to change from player names to hero names just because of him.
Oh my god. That must have been really, really rough.
Dude, next level play. You got to do it whenever you can.
I mean, you got to do it to get it fixed, right? It's like, I picked techies at TI because I wanted them to remove the hero. And they didn't do it, but it was worth it, apparently. So,
right. I mean, you won TI. Would you have rather have won TI or got techies out of Dota? That's the real question for you.
I'll take the TI win, but like
okay, right.
honestly, like some other tournament. Like I maybe prefer techies because he's really annoying. Anyways, to focus back on the draft, so this is a serious panel for the grand finals, chance to go to TI. Basically, what Vore Zoomers have done is, even though their first pick, they've revealed 2 cores, and the reason they've done this is because they did not believe that they would get Invoker on the second phase. They just played the Axe Invoker combo, and they knew that like the Undying team, their winner back advantage, basically they got to watch them play and they could react to their drafts. So that means that their draft is a little bit more susceptible than most drafts, as usually you have like a core support combo in your first 2. and now they have like 2 heroes to ban for. You know, they banned the Luna Axe for so Luna Ursa for the Axe, and then they're banning the TA for the Invoker. And like heroes that normally you would ban if you first to Invoker, like Puck or Voice Bear or Kunkka. I mean, maybe not those ones, but traditionally you can't ban them as you have to ban for 2 heroes.
Mm-hmm. You know, the other thing that I'm seeing here as well, right? They left the Hoodwink in. I'm curious if they're going to take that out right now on Undying, because that was that other piece of the draft that we saw in that game that looked really solid to me, at least. Like whether you get the Aghanim Scepter later on to amplify damage, or even just sharpshooter combo together with this, it's like a tremendous amount of pickoff. And they're taking a while with this last round. I mean, I guess hypothetically they could either ban it or take it themselves, but that kind of looks like a weird bit of like heroes, right? There's hard stuns, but it's like heavy commit, or it's bushwhack, which is kind of a funky one.
Yeah, and specifically against Invoker, the counter to this hero when he's been played like recently has always been a hard lockdown. It's Puck, Void Spirit, Kunkka, and TA. I mean, TA doesn't function the same, and DK, sorry, but I would expect Undying to ban out a hero that they think counters Puck in game and just pick the Puck on 15. Our wonderful statsman is giving us some statistics about how all 3 of the top heroes are ignored, which were Timbersaw, Puck, and Nyx Assassin, which sort of shows like in the finals of tournaments, especially in the BL5, you often enter into like sort of a special meta between the 2 teams.
Right. And that's a result of them watching each other play games throughout the entire tournament, right?
Yeah. You think back to also all of the recent patches and plays that Undying has gotten. Every single game of the last 4 that they've played, they've been able to first phase Ancient Apparition. That's taken out this time. One of those games they paired it together with the DK. That's taken out this time. 2 of the other times they paired it with an Axe. That's been taken now by Zoomers. So Zoomers are taking away these heroes that Undying has felt comfortable on. And now Undying trying to take something else back for themselves. They're going to steal the Hoodwink away from Zoomers.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm really curious as to what we're going to see with the hard carries. There's a lot of them have been banned out already, and I'm just not sure. Like you mentioned earlier, Lyrical, what they're going to do with that axe. And I know you're personally not really a fan of the carry axe, so you're hoping that it goes on Brax, but I just have no idea right now. What do you think?
I hope that they just stick it with Brax. Just make it Brax. Nothing else works here. I'm trying to figure out now, like, for Aui, like, do you need to go for something like a lion here? Like, how do you deal with this Viper? That's my biggest thing. I don't get it. This hero seems too strong.
Yeah, I think personally, I think Viper is, or he will be in EU qualifiers at least. I think that hero is what he was in SA qualifiers, which is first pick or ban. I'm surprised he like got through to the 2-3, to be honest. And it's because from the 2-3 position, like Viper right now, he can go mid and he can go offlane. It's so hard to deal with him. He can even go 5 position. I mean, not this game because they have 2 supports. But I think how you deal with Viper, hypothetically, is you pick a mid who should be okay with him. Invoker is okay. I mean, it can get pretty bad for him. And then you pick a lane that has the ability to kill him in lane, because he's really powerful, but he's also really slow and vulnerable in a sense. Snapfire sort of does that because he has 2 dukes, and you can just sort of stun him, slow him, get on top of him, and kill him.
10 seconds remaining.
Tell me about the Spectre pick. What does that... Oh, well, I guess that's the answer for them.
Dude, they're drafting so fast, Sumi. I don't know what's going on. They're ready. They've been
I'm
super
scared.
prepped.
That's a really good pick for Zoomers. I think it's good versus Windwyvern, Viper, and Spectre for sure. I don't know about Hoodwink. I would assume...
10 seconds remaining.
I would actually assume Hoodwink is like slightly good versus Naga Siren, but like not in any meaningful way.
5 seconds remaining.
And that's because like this Naga hero this game will push out every lane, and it's very easy to teamfight for Spectre because he presses Haunt and you just press Sleep and you just have the better reset. Also versus Viper, you sort of like shove the lane with illusions. Viper doesn't lose that lane, but Naga will free farm because Viper sort of has to use Nether Toxin to push into lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Interesting. So what does that mean for their last picks? What do they need to finish out this draft? I mean, they were drafting so fast. But, I mean, Undying has, like, no time left either.
Right. Yeah, this is the part that feels a little weird to me. So obviously they're looking now and anticipating that with the 3 cores, they're looking for 1 more support. They take the Undying out of the pool. I'm curious if this Snapfire is going to be a 4 or a 5. I feel like with the Naga, you can maybe run it 5 and then just pick another ranged core for a range support rather for up top, but they're anticipating that like they wanted that Undying to sort of dominate the lanes a little bit more.
I think Undying are banning Undying because right now 4 Zoomers are lacking a Naga sleep combo. I think their next ban will probably be Disruptor or Priestess of the Moon, because those are the 2 that are like generally left. How Naga Siren functions, because I really like Naga Siren as a hero, is that you want to be able to split push all the lanes, but eventually you want to be able to like group up and take a fight with Song. And if you have a combo like Disruptor LT Black Hole, it makes it really streamlined and easy to play.
So tell me a little bit about the tempo of the game. Which draft so far has like better control of the tempo of the game? Do you think that they're going to try to take this into late game, or is this going to, are they going to try to like make things happen with like Axe and Snapfire?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think 4 Zoomers have, like, I don't know what they're gonna pick for their last hero, but in my head, their 4 heroes look good together, move around the map. Like how they disable heroes with Qualifiers Invoker, combined with Snapfire spells, and like Axel probably have an early blink because he's getting Spectre Wyvern. It looks like they should have decent options in the early game, but that's it's not like Undying's draft is worse. It's just it looks more smooth because Wyvern Hoodwink support duo is like. It's not simple to make moves, and Viper doesn't make it simple either.
Yeah, that is the part that's kind of weird to me about this as well. I mean, I guess to be fair, like the main hero that's going to be moving around on Zoomers will be Invoker Quas Wex, but he's not even like necessarily great at setting things up. I feel like we've been talking a lot about Naga Siren throughout this, but Nox just hit us up and said that there's only been 4 actual picks so far in the qualifiers. So my read of this hero feels very off and weird right now. But yeah, I want to see if they go for one of those sort of big wombo-y combo-y type of picks with the last one. It can get a little bit weird. And apparently they were all losses, so not a great look for Zoomers.
To be fair though, Zoomers did beat Undying with Naga Siren, I think 2 times in the last tournament they faced off in. Right. So there's some like specific to Zoomers Naga Siren significance in this matchup.
I think I remember the last panel that both of you were on, we were talking about this, and that there are people who really specialize with Naga Siren, and perhaps 4 Zoomers has that as well. Sand King.
That's a good pick. They saw the Abaddon, so they knew that Viper wouldn't be able to pressure Naga Siren at all, so they opted for something that, honestly, like Sand King is usually a pretty high priority when you pick Naga Siren. I'm sort of surprised they didn't ban it. But maybe they have some idea against Sand King as a hero. They don't like respect what the hero does versus Naga Siren.
Interesting. They did expend a lot of their bans to protect their first 2 heroes, so maybe they were just letting it go. But now that we have these drafts set, gentlemen, which draft is better? Skill aside, draft only. Which draft do you like better, Lyrical?
I really like the Sand King pick a lot. I felt like all their heroes didn't really have stuff that they were able to do and make moves. Now Sand King can rotate to a lane, Spectre can haunt in afterwards, maybe plays with Moon. I think this Sand King is going to carry him through that mid game, and then Tomato will carry him in the late game.
I actually completely agree. I think the Sand King pick made a huge difference. I think if they didn't have Sand King as an offlaner, you wouldn't have that normal like hard lockdown for Invoker. And Invoker was just sort of ran rampant this game. You know, you look at the other 4 heroes, none of them really kill him. I think this draft is completely dependent on how Saberlight's game is compared to how Brax's game is. And if Saberlight has like any sort of decent game, then it looks really good for Undying for me.
Okay. Well, it looks like we have both of our casters on the side of Undying in terms of draft. And but you know, we did say from the, like I mentioned, the previous panel, Jenkins did say that Axe, he wanted to see Brax on Axe, so let's see if Brax, Axe can take it, or if Undying will continue to win every single game they've played in this tournament as we get into Game 1 of Undying versus 4 Zoomers. Lyrical and AUI, take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Sumi. And yep, we're already into the game. And as per usual, we have ourselves the pause to start. And of course, the disconnects will come out fast and furious. Aui, I'm curious, you know, we talked a lot about the Sanking, how good we thought it was. Snapfire, it's like kind of a lost hero. They're starting to pick it up now again as well. I remember when I was watching the Eastern European qualifiers, people were talking about as a replacement for the Hoodwink. How do you think Ocean's game looks this one?
It's for similar reasons as why it would have been a really good Invoker game if there's no Sanking. I think it actually makes it sort of a good Snapfire game. You can sort of play at range, nothing will really catch you, and you just get off a really good Mortimer's Kiss. Even with the Sanking though, I don't think Sanking really wants to blink in and stop support Snapfire for ulting, so I think she should find a pretty good time. A lot of the reasons why this hero fell off is because Little Shredder got nerfed. But honestly, even when it was really strong, I felt like going for the first 2 spells was really strong. And especially against Wyvern, you want to have a lot of magical damage. I think overall Ocean should have a pretty good time this game.
Okay, it'll be something to watch for sure. And there's a lot of things in this that we've sort of seen be strong combos come online well. Like particularly the Axe combo together with the Invoker has been really clutch. There's been a couple of times I remember watching, again in the Eastern European qualifiers, where there was like a Naga song into an Axe call, and then like the Axe immediately gets hexed as the song ends. He's trying to hit a call off. So hopefully don't see anything like that. But the other one is Spectre. This hero is like farms crazy slow, it feels like, if you don't get out of the laning stage and like end up struggling at all there. Do you feel like that's going to be a problem at all for Tomato here? Does he have an okay lane?
His lane... No, his lane should be completely fine. Spectre historically has always been an Axe lane counter, just because Axe actually doesn't have... Like, what beats Spectre in lane is if you can sort of shove it into her or get the lane equilibrium and then out-CS her, because Spectre, like, she doesn't have high kill threat and she has relatively low damage. What Spectre benefits from is she has really high regen and armor. And she's good versus Axe for that reason, because he won't contest her CS as much, and then, you know, Haunt counters his Blink Dagger, Desolate's good versus really high armor, and traditionally it was like, when you blink Blade Mail Spectre, she doesn't care at all. Now, even if you blink Manta Spectre, like, she takes a lot less damage, because she has one of the only skills that reduces pure damage in Dispersion.
That's
oh,
fair.
Wait, Spectre's already gone for Desolate. This is very new technology, because you usually get Dispersion and Dagger, like, until level 8 or even, like, level 11.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is new tech or misclick by Tomato, but regardless, it's kind of interesting, you know, 18 bonus pure damage right out of the start if nobody's nearby. Oh, dude, Ocean's not expecting the Dispersion or the freaking Desolate.
Yeah, fight him, you're Desolate. But honestly, I think Tomato will just TP here. He doesn't know if there are more heroes here or not. He doesn't want to get zoned out. Oh no, he's going. He's gonna fight him. He can't hit him because of the move speed advantage and the slow, but... Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why you would want Desolate in this lane, to be honest.
Well, we'll see if anything pops out immediately, or if, you know, maybe he tries to make some plays with it around the Haunt, gets more points in Desolate than you would anticipate. He could play a more aggro style, possibly. Who knows? But regardless, at least at the early going, you can see Dubu trying to push Brax back a little bit here, along with Tomato. And
ooh, Desolate hit.
Yeah, nice. Dude, easy.
I mean, it's not like it's a bad spell, right? Like, it's just your other spells are usually so good.
Right.
But anyways, I'm curious to see how that leads, because in my head, like, I would always take Dispersion or Dagger level 1 versus Axe.
All right. Back towards the mid lane, there's been a couple of games where I've seen Vipers just absolutely handle Invokers, particularly Quaswex Invokers. And you can see already 1-1, 2-1 now for Gunnar, playing against the 6-2 of the Viper. Kind of a tough one, and Bryle definitely taking care of business on this hero.
Yeah, I think this matchup is very hard for Invoker at early levels, but I think Gunnar's like... I mean, he's obviously not winning the lane. He's doubled up on CS, but I think he's winning the lane in the sense that he has the hill. Like, he's not going to get zoned out by Viper's level 3 timing, which is usually really worrisome for Invoker, just because the creep wave is fine for him.
Yeah,
so like,
maybe he's like doing better than you would anticipate, or some other Invokers would do. Okay.
Yeah, like, he's already brought the self. He's going to be at full HP. Brow's going to self up, but Viper, like, he spends a lot of resources to harass mid. It has to, like, lead into denies or, like, zoning the other hero out from last hits. Otherwise, like, the hero doesn't... It's, like, not that good a hero. I mean, usually can always do that. That's why it's such a good hero, but yeah.
Oh my god, look at that. First level for Spectre all time. Desolate 96 out of like over 2,000. So
I like how there's a stats there. Who
Right.
leveled stats?
I don't know, somebody. It's like, I don't need my spells.
But
I'm
yeah,
just
it's
dumb.
very rare to level Desolate at level 1 compared to Dispersion or Dagger.
Wow. That's his little thing there. And it does look like a little bit of a chase down. I mean, we haven't really talked about this at all, but they did decide to send Sammy up to the top lane as the Burrow Strike comes through, connects onto Husky, and is going to fall. Moon drawing first blood. Nicely played.
And that's huge, because I think Sand King's a hero that we're really focused on this game. He's already sort of supposed to free farm versus Nagasaran. Oh, and they're gonna...
Oh,
Wait, they got Tomato.
able to catch him. Yeah,
Top
that
lane though,
level
they're
2
also going
timing.
Sammy Boy.
Oh my god, everything's happening all at once. Sammy, gotta get away, trying to escape, and the Aphotic Shield keeps him alive, along with that salve. All right, very action-packed, although there's only been 2 deaths.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see what happened with Spectre there, but, you know, maybe he should have gotten a skill that let him be more survivable, and it really would have helped him there. I mean, there's a reason why, like, how you play versus Axe versus Spectre is, like, it's a very figural matchup. Like, all the way to 2016, this matchup was played, and it's always sort of been played a similar way.
Right. Well, a little bit of struggle there, for sure, but they are going to get aggro onto Brax now. And this is a nice chunk of damage there. Is it enough for the
Desolate?
kill? Oh, no, the creep wave. It didn't proc. Oh, man. Unreal.
Maybe this Zessa is pretty good, actually, because if you think about it, if Tomato didn't die in that last engagement, like, maybe Brax has slightly less levels, or maybe he has more levels, and then there's a kill there. Honestly,
Sure.
like, I'm criticizing the Desolate choice, but we haven't seen enough to actually, like, think anything, right? I'm just going off my gut feeling. Like, it feels weird
Right.
historically. I don't know whether it's good or bad yet.
Well, that is a very interesting one indeed there, and going to salve up Tomato afterwards. They are bringing Ocean back over there as there's a little bit of a battle for the bounty runes, and will Brow be able to get there in time? Or, nope, Husky sneaks that one away.
He's
But-
gonna die for this, though.
Yeah, he's gonna pay a price for sure. 10 goes up as he tries to walk away, and this will be a kill for Bryle. So 2-1, and they give him the tip afterwards. Dude, he got a bounty rune. You can't tip him for that. It's worth.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kill's probably worth more, but one thing he did do is he drew Viper away from middle lane, and he made him spend a lot of mana to kill him. I think Gunnar sort of appreciated that, even if, like, Viper's also okay with it. It's one of those weird things where both teams are like, don't worry, I'm doing this, and the other team's like, don't worry, we're getting a kill or something. And, like, both teams are, like, just being happy about it.
The person that wins the game is the one that was actually right, though.
Of course, that's how Dota
results-based.
works.
Yeah.
Results-based thinking are always always the best way to approach life.
Well, nonetheless, 5 minutes into this one, and it's fairly stratified. You can see that Naga's actually had a pretty good time up here, despite losing that Abba one time. And down bottom, a nice chunk of damage. Tomato in trouble. Going to fall. Brax takes him down. So again, having a nice time on this axe here.
And this is huge, because in the panel, what I thought was, like, whoever gets a better game between the offlaners is really going to take over the game, because both safe lanes are not inspiring, right? Like, Wyvern Spectre, it's like, eh, and then, like, Abaddon, Nagasan, same reaction.
Right.
Now Brax, he has his Vanguard. If you have Vanguard when Spectre's only level 3, I think this lane counter doesn't matter. Oh, he doesn't keep his wagon though. I'm very surprised by that. Let it go on bottom.
Gunnar makes that rotation. They get the Cold Embrace. Tomato completely out of mana, though. Ocean is starting to drop down kind of low. Tornado afterwards. Brax backs out. And with Ocean retreating as well, can the rest of them escape? It looks like it. So they force a rotation. Bryle came down bottom. And that should be the end of it, it looks like.
A really good heal from Dubu there, but still, I mean, that engagement felt a bit weird. Like, to go for a Spectre kill there, even though Spectre is just level 4, now he has a point in Dispersion. He's a pretty tanky hero under the tower. I really would have liked to see 4 Zoomers sort of just tank 2 hits on the tower with a Vanguard on Axe and keep their wagon alive. Then they could have played that engagement for, like, the long con, you know? Where
Right.
they it's just hitting the tower and Radiant feels really bad. I think they sort of got forced by the fact that Gunnar had already rotated, and they tried to do a bit too much on that rotation.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't lose any heroes, but Radiant feels really good about that one.
And in the meantime, while that was happening, you also saw that Moon was able to soak up some of that XP there in the mid lane. So on this Hoodwink, trying to get into levels. Almost level 4 here at just about the 8-minute mark. And in the meantime, Sammy, he's jungling. This is what you anticipate from the Naga Siren, from the Terror Blades, all those pesky illusion heroes. He's going to head off and just try and get into those items and levels. We'll probably be farming faster than the Spectre for the foreseeable future, at least until you get some items. Ooh, they got chip vests, though. That's great.
That is a nice Spectre item.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah, Nagasaki's gonna go to the jungle, and when that happens, I think generally it's really important to dive the support top. We see Undying, they're looking for Husky, but he managed to. That's a cool spot. I'm gonna use that spot.
That was awesome.
Apparently, you don't get vision there, and no, he's out. They don't. He's gonna keep sapping XP, being annoying, and just trying to hold on to this tower as long as possible.
And in the meantime, on the other side, as you can see, Ocean, Brax, they're pressuring this tower. Now, they don't have the catapult, which is certainly annoying, but they do have this ward over in the area, which is scouting Tomato's movement, and could go for a play on him now. Jump forward, Cookie's there. They've got the call afterwards. They need a spin or two. Can they get it in time? Oh, they will get the spin, but not before the bushwhack comes in. And now, with Brile in the area, both TP out. Any way away? No, they're gone.
That was so cool from 4 Zoomers. You saw Brax, he was dancing the wave around, not cutting and killing it, because he knew Spectre would defend the tower, and he wants an enemy creep wave alive so that he can like spin on him when he calls him. And because of that, they force out the Viper TP and the Hoodwink Bushwhack, so they rotate 4 heroes on Undying, and they get absolutely nothing from that. Like, Viper's a slow hero. He's TP to bottom and walked to mid 2 times. That's a really long time to walk when your hero's like 285 base MS.
Right.
Or even slower than that, I think.
He's not like rotating and finding those kills necessarily either, which is, you know, maybe what you would have wanted as Gunnar. Oh, they got him. That's really rough, though. Brile and Moon able to make that rotation, but trying to keep him alive is Husky. With the Aphotic Shield, they drop down another sentry. Can they keep him alive? Aphotic Shield, Miscoil back up in a second, and barely. Gunnar is able to escape. Wow, that was a huge save by Husky.
Really clutch. 4 Zoomers are just making these clutch plays around the map to eke out disadvantages. With that being said, though, look at Saberlight's farm. This guy is beasting it up this game. He has the Vanguard. He didn't go for some Tranquil Boots, you know, Blink Dagger, Small Sun plays. He's going for the full, like, Vanguard, Chad build. You got Vanguard, you got Blink Dagger, and you're beasting it in fights. You just tank everything and do a lot of damage.
Right.
Tomato bottom, though.
Ocean.
Whoa.
Whoa, big play. Ocean almost able to catch him. That would have been crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is, of course, the problem with Spectre is doesn't feel necessarily great being shoved out of lane like this. Though he does have level 6. We could maybe see a haunt play to go and try and farm out somewhere, or maybe just TPs to a lane. We'll see what he decides to do there. But level 6 is coming up soon as the tomes are going to be transferred out to everybody. Looking at it right there, Tomato actually 3 levels behind the Naga Siren, but Brile's found him. Song of the Siren comes out, trying to walk away so he can TP back home, and will not die to that ulti. So does manage to get back out of there.
So there's this concept in Dota about tower taking where it doesn't matter if you take an enemy tower if they're able to just take yours, right? Because you're just even. I mean, I don't know. I say a concept, it sounds so pretentious. Like if you take a tower and they take your tower, it's the same.
Right.
But the concept is that you want to, instead of like taking enemy towers, it's more important to defend your own towers when you have advantage. So we can do that. Saberlight with his Vanguard has rotated to bottom lane very early in this game. He's just, the entire purpose of this is just to hold this tower.
Yeah.
And then they're going to feel a map advantage because a creep wave, like, it can sort of go further for them. You know, if you split the map by where the creep waves can go, they have a clear advantage on the map control.
Well, Aui, I don't think it's pretentious at all. I like your concepts, okay? They're beautiful. Don't let
I mean,
anybody
it's
tell you
a
any
concept, but it's like, oh, you know, -1 tower is equal to -1 tower. It sounds so, like when I said it, just, it's way too much. Like,
all right, it's fair enough. It's fair. Oh, man. Well, nonetheless, the concept that we're seeing right now is that level 6 is on Snapfire. Hasn't been able to make any use of it yet on Ocean, though he did chase the Spectre out of there, and we're getting pretty close to the blink on Axe. You talked about the Sand King after having gone back for, you know, the boots and the infused raindrops. He's now also going to go into that blink dagger, so it's going to be one of those timings when the battles might start breaking out pretty soon here. Smoke up on the side of Undying. Will they find anybody? Sammy doesn't have song. This is a minute away and eyes on him. Can they get the catch for the kill? Haunt in. Oh, Power Rangers TP'd in to try and save. And it looks like Sammy will be fine.
All right. Honestly, Husky has really been on point this game, right? I think he saved his scores multiple times this game. It's only been 12 minutes. And got their...
Oh, wait, do they find Tomato in this? Tomato in trouble. Mortimer's Kisses comes down and they find the return kill. So Tomato haunts in for that. And then not only does he not get the kill, he dies himself.
And honestly, an uncharacteristic mistake from Tomato. I think in a lot of the other series, like I'm thinking his Axe game, he was like a very zero-death player this tournament. But he makes a crucial error there where, you know, worst case in that last play, they force all of 4 Zoomers to topside, they force TPs, they can sort of take control of the rest of the map. But if you force enemy heroes to an area of the map, and then you die to them, then you just gave them purpose, you know? It's not forcing them there, it's just sort of giving them a kill.
Right.
They just rotated on you by making a defensive move, and you don't want that. And unfortunately, like, he dies there, and that's honestly a very big death. See, Nagastar, he's starting to, like, open up the net worth lead between himself and Spectre now.
Right. 900 gold roughly is where we're at, and Axe finishing off that Blink Dagger. It's coming out to him right now. I might see if he can dig up a salve here afterwards, but it's a smoke play trying to find Saberlight, but Saberlight, recognizing the inherent danger, is instead going to go mid and stop this pressure coming from Husky, who, like you said, he's been playing really well. I thought his Coddle performance in the previous games were really good as well. A couple of like clutch smoke breaks and that type of stuff.
For sure, for sure. Underrated hero, by the way. Keeper of the Light, I think.
Yeah?
Oh man, their smoke popped, like it ended, and I thought it popped on the Axe on his own team. I got super confused. Brow's stuck down here though. They know he TP'd, or they should know.
Oh, and they're gonna Sunstrike right on top of Dubu.
Oh, he was smoked, but they saw the TP then, right? So they saw the TP, but no hero there. So I don't know if they think he canceled it or if they know he's smoked. They know he's there now though.
Yeah, tornado hits, but Ocean hitting from the side, looking to get this and not get it denied. But it looks like it's gonna go down most likely. Blink forward, finds the kill onto Ocean. Wasn't able to TP out of there. The tower does still stand, but it's only at 34 HP. And this whole time, they're farming on Naga.
They are, and these have these huge stacks for Axe. Brax is gigantic. I mean, he's actually, if I looked at net worth, I thought he was more giant than this, but he has Vanguard Axe, and he just farmed like a 4-stack, so he's feeling very good right now.
Oh, be careful there.
Sorry, I drank some water. I think I'm just a disgusting human being.
Listen,
so.
Staying hydrated is happiness. That's the most important thing.
That's true. Everyone should drink some water.
Everybody out there, drink some water. Do it to yourselves. Treat yourself. And I'm going to try and find a way to transition into the fact that Tomato just got tornadoed, and now Gunner gets pro striked as well. Got the EMP coming out. Now, sharpshooter afterwards. Husky trying to get saved. Oh, Brax, he came in and saved him. He jumped in front of the sharpshooter, saving a life, and Husky's like, thanks, man. I saved him previously. You're saving him now. Naga gets hit by the curse. There's not nearly enough damage there. Dude, Zoomers, they ate their Wheaties this morning. They're looking so good.
Oh, man, they're playing just fantastically on the counterplays here. That was a get down, Mr. President move. They force out the Winter's Curse, and this turnaround, it's not just killing a Sand there, because normally you're like, oh, you know, we killed the offlaner, that's nice. I wish we killed the carry. Sand was the highest net worth hero on his team by far during that fight. When you kill the highest net worth hero on the enemy team, of course you get more gold and stuff, but it's like a huge tempo swing because you're removing so much power from the map of your opponent. Oh, mid lane again, same play?
Literally the same thing that we saw before. This time, they won't be able to even get the control because Husky was there. Very impressive stuff. 3 to 5, and
Simon Boy has Manta.
All right, there's an opportunity there. I mean, how big? Oh my God, they go on him again. Husky's there again. Tries to keep him alive. This time might not be enough as they bring 3 heroes again and finally take down Gunner and might be able to pressure out this tower. Can the rest of Zoomers stop this?
I think they should try to defend this on Zoomers. I think they want to at least, but it's looking a bit hard here. They're rotating into Axe. Oh, okay, the TP Naga.
Also, right in on top of it. So they TP him in, and the rest of Zoomers will be able to keep that tower alive. So no tier 1 towers taken mid as of yet for either team.
And you can really appreciate sort of the tenacity from Team Undying there, you know? They know that this is the best play for them. They messed up the execution in the last fight. Maybe they needed to wait a little bit longer for Moon Meadow so he can start channeling the ulti before bushwhacking or something. But they go right back at it because while the first defense was really good, they did expend some resources, you know, the Mortimer's Kisses and etc. to defend that tower and take the fight last time. So I like that play. Another smoke from 4 Zoomers that doesn't seem to be connecting. Tomato, he had a couple deaths in lane, but he seems to be dodging the smoke ganks really well this game.
Yeah, and he's keeping up definitely in farm with that Naga Siren. Obviously a little bit behind, but it's not the end of the world, and just gets the quick silver amulet too. See if he decides to take that one, or maybe Dragon Slail. There's a couple of others that are open. But it's interesting, right? Because normally we see these offlaners that are the ones that are sitting in front of towers, like the Sand King that we just saw a second ago, keeping them alive. In this game, it's felt like Zoomers have put Gunner on that role, and then it's up to Husky to keep them alive afterwards.
I mean, a little bit because... So the idea is that you want to put a hero that forms a wall there, right? Like your opponent wants to attack this hero, you put your hero that they can't kill. If you think about Abaddon, he sort of makes any hero into that type of wall hero because he has the Purge. Oh, top lane?
Yeah, they catch Ocean, and Brax realizing is going to TP out. Ocean can't quite get the finish TP. Yeah, they bring 4 up there, and in the meantime, immediately afterwards, they're going to try and pressure this tower. So you're saying the wall is what Abba provides. He becomes your,
Abaddon,
like,
he
facsimile
makes
wall.
no, he makes someone else into the wall, right?
Right.
Like he could also stand there and spam it, but you don't really use the farm well. So you can allow another hero to farm this really dangerous area, and it worked really well the first time. I mean, you can't overdo it because you're only providing like a shield and a heal. It's not this, it doesn't make Invoker into some centaur with hood, but it is quite nice. I would like to see Sammy Boy. He did rotate over and farm the Ancients, but I'd like to see him take over the bottom side of the map. Another smoke from Undying here though. Do they? They have vision on Axe.
Able to catch him. They do have Song, and gonna move on into that area, save his life, and Brax just gonna saunter away, happy as a clam, get the blink out. So gank will not succeed, and giving a little tip afterwards, Saberlight there by Sammy.
Okay. A good save by Sammy Boy there. As I was saying, I would like to see Sammy Boy, as he did, rotate over to the spot side, because I think it gives your team a lot more options when Naga Siren or any hard carry can sort of pressure in the lane. When he's sitting in his own jungle, you can only really take the creeps when it gets to your tower. There's no real map pressure coming in there. You'll farm a similar amount. I mean, actually, you farm more bottom still, but you provide a lot more to your team in terms of like vision and map control.
Okay. Well, game is kind of chilled out a little bit now, it feels like. We're just about that 20-minute mark, and Undying are 4 heroes mid lane. They just keep on wanting to have this pressure up there, and now they've decided to stick Gunner instead of into the mid, putting these Naga Siren Manta illusions in there instead. Is this the play that you kind of want to see from Undying, is just sort of hell-bent taking down this tower here?
I think Undying are fine with this. They're just trying to wait for the Spectre timing. Spectre is like 300 gold from Mantis style. They want to play off the time mid lane though.
Jump in, good call afterwards. Brax able to find him, and now the Mortimer's Kisses coming out, completely whiffs the sharpshooter. Saberlight dropping down low. The Cold Embrace is there, but it's not enough. Manta dodge afterwards. They turn out into Gunner. Oh no, the Winter's Curse gonna take him down very low, but the Bushwhack, it's still gonna be enough. Pops that ulti, turns now, tries to keep Sammy Boy alive. Is it gonna be enough though? Meanwhile, throwing out that cookie, trying to slow them down as much as possible. Another aphotic shield. Sammy the turret, Brax is there, able to catch onto 2. Do they have enough to get him out, and can they even turn on to more of this? And Tomato is quite strong right now on this Spectre, but Brax still living the slowest disengage in the world. Sammy did kill Dubu with his illusions in the meantime, and now Song of the Siren for reinitiation. There's an opportunity here. Do they have enough to kill off Tomato? There's the net underneath the tower, lots of damage. Manta afterwards, jump forward, call, good connection, but he's broken. He couldn't get the spins off because of it. Now the Burrow Strike for the turnaround. Brax saved again by Husky. This dude is almost completely out of mana now. That Abba has been everything this game.
Oh man, and a really good timing hit from Undying there. I mean, even though they didn't quite have the Manta style, they recognized that Naga sleep was down, and they had this window where they could use Haunt to just take the fight. I also want to say, like, Abaddon, in that fight, he's so happy he went for the mana boots over the Tranquil boots, because how many shields did he get off? It had to be like 10 shields, like legitimately 10 shields. A full minute of just clicking W and Q on his allies. He just saved so many lives there. I thought Sammy Boy is dead for sure, and that would have been a disaster for Zoomers. Instead, they sort of get to turn it around. Now they have no Haunt, and you have a little bit of a window where I think you're actually stronger on the map than your opponent.
And, you know, I think that we talked about, like, what's this answer for Bryle on this Viper? How do you deal with them? And I think we're starting to see it a little bit with this Abba. Like, how many poison attacks did Bryle get off in that fight? And then they're not stacking up, right? Because you just keep on getting these constant aphotic shields. It's been fabulous.
That's a really good point. And Bryle actually, he ran out of mana during that fight. I mean, we're talking about the shields, but you're right. Bryle he must have hit like 40 times that fight because he was just automatic completely, even with bottle charges and wand. And Bryle, I really like his item build this game. He's gone for a very stable Boots of Travel, Dragonlance BKB. Yeah. It makes Viper actually feel like a normal hero when you can move around not at 300 MS. So Boots of Travel is always nice on here. Oh, he flubs his TP on top lane. They're trying to set up with the glyph there, maybe.
Ocean getting chased here. Saberlight thought about dropping that epicenter, but decides not to. And is this going to come back to bite him at all? No, there's other heroes coming in. So 4 heroes rotating top and Gunner. He's just going to TP out. So. Good
measurement from Team 4 Zoomers there, because if they had chased just a little bit further, Moon was already on the case. He was TPing up, his level 3 in Scurry, and he was running up there. Honestly, it looked far, but like another 2 seconds of moving forward and they would have caught a hero.
You know, I remember this interview that we just had with Gunner, and we were asking, is there anything special that we're going to be seeing? Is there anything unique that's going to be going on? And one of the points that he brought up really comes back to me now, which was, you know, this is what our goal was. Our goal was to get to grand finals, and this looks like a different 4 Zoomers team. Not to say that they're like sandbagging or anything like that, but I will say that they look a lot crisper. They've been getting better throughout the course of the qualifiers, and this is the best that I think they've looked so far, and they're up 3,000 gold against Undying. This is going to be a series.
For sure, and I think we've seen that historically, right? Oh, 1 second, they're going to Husky here.
He looks like he's out of there. I'll be fine.
All right, he finishes his Aether Lens and his Tranquil Boots. This is a very rich Abaddon. Typically a hard position 6 hero where you don't get any farm, but he's actually the same net worth, effectively the same net worth as Moon Meander.
Right. That's crazy. It's great.
Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, historically, we saw at the Animajor that the teams who got to go into like the group stage and wildcards, they actually performed very well in the tournament, specifically Nigma and LGD, because you garner so much experience. I think 4 Zoomers, they sort of had an effect like that. They lost to the great team Arkosh, who was like just outplaying them the entire series. They learned a lot from that team, especially the 5-position player. Okay. And then now they're taking that experience into the series, and yeah, I agree, they're looking really crisp here.
Well, they've definitely come up with some good answers, at least to a couple of the heroes. But Undying, they're nothing to slouch at either. This combination of like the Saberlight Burrow Strike into the Sharpshooter has proven to be really deadly, barring some like crazy outplays coming from the Zoomers afterwards. But for now, at least, the map, it's sort of split down the middle a little bit here, trading off the farm. And immediately, they go Sunstrike, see, hey, they're taking Roche. They're going to give it to him for free. It feels like that's really... I don't know.
No, they're contesting this. They know the Roshan is not that fast, and they have Nagasar. There's no way you give up a Roshan for free here.
They're moving over this direction. Can they get there quickly enough? Well, smoke breaks first for Ocean. Oh, Saberlight looking for a big catch. The tornado is going to go out. There's the catch for the call, but they get the Aegis. Is this a good enough initiation after the fact, though? Broken, trying to get the kill onto one. Husky's ulti's already popped. Everybody's dropping down so low, and they do kill Ocean. Sammy, in the meantime, though, turns now on to the Spectre. Tomato, can they bring him down? Ocean coming back in for round 2. Did have to buy back for this one. They've already killed that tier 1 tower in the mid lane as Sammy thinks about going on to Bryle, but it's a little bit too scary. Saberlight still has Epi ready to go as... God, look at those Naga illusions just tear up Tomato. It wasn't enough for the kill, but he does have a lot of damage. Somehow they gain 5,000 gold throughout the course of that on Zoomers, even though they bought back on a hero.
I can't believe... Well, I mean, first of all, like, it goes okay for them, but I can't believe they gave up the Aegis. They had the Shrine. Did they... I didn't click all the heroes, but did they not have TPs? Like, they scouted out so early with the first Sunstrike. And then they did the second Sunstrike when Roshan was like at 50%, and then it took them long enough that they were just able to burst it on Team Undying. I think one of the underrated... I mean, Echo Saber is meta on Spectre now, but it really makes your Roshan fast, because every 5 seconds you basically get a double hit.
And plus the Manta for the Desolate, so it's what, like 180? Jumps in. Burrow Strike is there. Sammy.
They have no haunt, but I don't think you want to fight this on 4 Zoomers.
Sammy trying to TP out of there. Song will end, and they will escape, so... No chance for a catch. But again, the thing that's really interesting about this is they're still gaining a gold advantage on the Zoomers. I feel like Sammy is just farming so efficiently now.
I mean, bot tower did die, so that explains a little bit, but I'm surprised that, I mean, you have an Aegis, and the gold lead has gone from 5 to 7k. I mean, we shouldn't be so surprised this game, because this Aegis isn't like a, oh, we are stronger than you, we're going to get an Aegis and then control the map and fight you. This was like a, oh god, please let us have this Aegis, or like I'm scared on the map thing, you know? So,
yeah, for sure.
With that being said, it's not like the heroes on 4Zoomers lineup are overly compelling. Like, if you have Phoenix Tidehunter, Spectre, or Phoenix Tidehunter Medusa lineup, and you're up this much gold, then me feels like they can never take a team fight with you. Naga Siren, she's sort of like fake net worth like Alchemist, just because how she man fights is not the same as other characters. That's not to say she's not strong as a hero or like strong in the man fight. It's just different, you know? Like a 20k Naga Siren is not the same as a 20k Spectre.
For sure, definitely. And I think that one of the things that's going to be really interesting to watch is like how you can try and isolate those supports from Undying, because they're kind of maneuverable in weird and funky ways, right? You got this Wyvern that can fly over cliffs. You've got the Hoodwink that can scurry around. But it feels like if Naga Siren illusions ever end up getting on them, then all of a sudden, like, you kill those heroes, and then it kind of doesn't matter if, like, you know, you can't deal with the Spectre one-on-one because the Naga Siren is that much bigger, and she has the whole rest of her team that's still alive. So
for sure,
be,
and it's worth mentioning that the supports have the only real AoE spells on Undying. I mean, of course you have Sand King, but he's going to use his spells to initiate. Like, sorry, only real AoE reset spells. And like Dubu, like, he's been playing well this game. He had a couple of really clutch curses, but his net worth has sort of reflected a bit of the style that Team Undying play. He's not going to have the itemization that normally you might have to deal with a Naga Siren. Like, literally, if one illusion runs at him, he has to Q, hit it, and run away. And, you know, Sammy, he almost has Butterfly. You might miss that Q, and you might just die to an illusion.
Yeah, that would be quite bad.
It would be
in
super
my
embarrassing.
Professional opinion. Yes. Well, they're gonna commit here, send some illusions up to high ground. They do take on Undying the tier 2 tower in the top lane, but already this pressure onto bottom tier 3. They take about, what is this, 1,000 damage off of it? They're slowly but steadily whittling away these Undying towers. And now with this Butterfly, like you mentioned, things are looking not too bad. I guess, oh, wait, Net connects, he had some vision. Hoodwink, gonna try and go now. Sammy, chasing, sending those illusions in, and Moon's gonna be able to walk out, but they do get that stun. Sammy, Aphotic Shield comes out, pops the Song of the Siren, but the BKB, Bryle tries to take him down. Is it gonna be enough damage? No, not quite. So Sammy manages to escape, but that's gonna be some map control regained by Undying.
For sure. They have to pop the song so Naga Siren's a little bit more vulnerable, but it is a bit hard to push forward because Viper now also doesn't have the BKB.
Right.
We do have... I also want to mention that Brax, you know, he went for Vanguard Blink Dagger, and then he realized he's playing... Like, he's making good plays. Oh, so 1 second. They're jumping Ocean here.
No, is it? Chance? Burrow? And Brax for the turnaround. Oh,
Moon's gonna catch him.
Okay, and then the TP out. Oh, no! Brax, he didn't BKB first. Sammy, in the meantime, kills Dubu. All right, things got really weird. So Brax is gonna die. Can he kill Saberlight though? Oh, a taunt, the turn. Wants to get the dunk. Can he get any spins? It's not gonna happen. Sammy shows up now, looking for some retribution. How dare you kill my axe? I'm coming for you. Tries to chase it, tries to turn it. Husky still living, taking a lot of damage. Gunner shows up. This is a really weird fight here for the Zoomers. And Undying, if they get too far out of position as well, they could all just die. So Sammy will back out. Tomato trying to give a little bit of chase. But it looks like, at least for now, they're going to separate, head back to farming their sides of the map again. 10-10, super even game.
Just a small note about that fight. I think Saberlight was dead there if Brow doesn't get the Nanotoxin onto Axe. There was a lot of units hitting Axe, but his BKB ran out, and luckily, like, that break from Nanotoxin ends up saving Saberlight. That would have been one of the biggest, like, big play turns I've seen. You know, you get like 3v1 ganked on the side lane, your support TP's out leaving you, stupid core, you don't deserve my help, and then like you still get a turnaround kill. But anyways, I don't know who won that fight. I think it was Undying slightly, but you know, no one's feeling too bad about that fight. Oh, they jumped Gutter though.
Yeah, they got him. Did just get the Aghanims completed. Gonna have to try and run out of there. Doesn't have a TP. and they will be able to disengage. Now, this is going to be one of the big ones to watch for. We talked about this combo in the draft. It was 2 of their first picks. Invoker, Axe, Cataclysm, raining down Hellfire. It's going to be something to watch for. Do Undying have what they need to deal with that right now in this game?
Well, their supports are really poor. So Moonmeander, he's starting as Aeon Disc, but Winter Wyvern does not have a Force Staff. So I think it might be a scary timing for them. I will say, okay, I want to talk about this though. Brax, he went for Blink, Vanguard, BKB, and I really like this because I've seen so many offline acts just go straight for that Manta. And maybe he would have preferred to have that Manta in the last engage, but you know, he has Naga Siren, Invoker, dual cores. These heroes actually do a high amount of damage if you provide lockdown for them. And now, like, you look at the items, and Sammy Boy, I think he has a BKB coming. Yeah, he has a BKB, Invoker has a BKB, Axe has a BKB, and you feel like a real team. Like, he would only have Manta right now, and they'd be like, oh, wait for my BKB, wait for my position 3 to farm. It just feels so bad. I really like his decision-making here.
Well, as you mentioned, this is a huge timing, and they really don't have much that goes through that with the exception of some Tomato shenanigans. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on this here as Moon reveals himself. Gunnar looking, Tornado, lift up. Sammy right on top. There's the Aeon Disc already proc. Bryle there as well. Burrow Strike finds Gunnar. Looking for that chase down, looking for that kill. Vax, can he get in range? Not quite going to get there in time. BKB keeping him alive, but Gunnar, can he escape? There's the turn, looking for the call, able to connect. Bryle finds the kill. One goes down. Saberlight, though, also going into the meat grinder. All of these heroes are starting to get torn apart. But is it going to be enough? Sammy rooted, Force Staff, trying to keep him away. Has to bump Song. Oh, but they break it. Trying to get the Song of the Siren off, and they will be able to. So they'll disengage, trade of 2 for 1. In the end, it wasn't enough for the Zoomers, but Undying win that fight.
Yeah, really great from Moonmeander there. He just freshly finished that Aeon Disc. They thought they could go on him. You know, Invoker pokes his head, and they get a really good jump. Just, you know, Haunt with Sand King, it's always going to be terrifying. I don't know what happened in that fight, but Abaddon was just completely unable to get to his Invoker there, and as a result, like, for Zoomers, they look so good, their formation looks so good. One bait by Moonmeander, and your backline tries to go in too early, and they take the fight on Undying. And this usually, I would say, is sort of like the beginning of the end for Naga Siren lineups. I think a lot of people, if you've played pubs with Naga Siren, she farms a lot, she pushes out all the waves, she makes the game super annoying. But eventually, her network sort of falls off. Again, we were saying, like, eventually Spectre is going to get 6 slots worth of items. He'll outcarry Naga Siren. But, you know, Sammy Boy, he's used his RNG luck. He's got into Spider Leg. So he's going to scale for an additional item. It's a huge deal on this hero.
Yeah, for sure. I think that that's going to be an interesting one to watch, is how these dynamics play out as we get to the later stages. We do have that next tier of items just 3 minutes away as well, as the neutrals will be spawning at that point as Sand King going to reconnect. Looks like we'll be good to go and back underway in just a moment here. You know, I expected to see the Cataclysm. I guess there just wasn't a good opportunity for it in that last fight. It was a little bit awkward there.
I mean, he was getting gone on, right? So, like, he's casting Ice Wall, he's casting Ghost Walk, some Deafening Blasts. He's just trying to survive because, I mean, I don't know what the right choice was, honestly, even if he slowed it down himself. But I think it's impossible to criticize. Like, you just try to live with your BKB and stuff. Also, I think one thing about the last fight that's really important is that both of Undying supports actually lived through this fight. So if you click on Dubu now, he was having a really rough game, but that fight gave him enough gold to get all the way to the Force Staff. Now this Cataclysm is like, it's way diminished in impact. Like, you would have to jump the Winter Wyvern and the person you want to jump at the same time in order to hit the Cataclysm. And I mean, that's a big deal. You also have Haunt to sort of tank the Cataclysm Sunstrikes. And I mean, potentially Manta, but probably just like, if you Haunt on the Axe, the Cataclysm will do less damage, which is a big deal.
Right. Yeah, that's something to watch for. I mean, and now the other thing to sort of keep our eyes on, long cooldowns for Undying. Not crazy long, but several of them that are fairly long, including Haunt. But Undying going to take Roche in this time period. This is huge. I was going to say that maybe Zoomers could have come and done this. Do they go in and check? Dude, Sammy's right by there. He's going to walk into it. They spot him here. Has to be careful. Song's still on cooldown, but the freaking Hurricane Pike gets him away from it. Unreal.
And it was just a clutch rune and timing on the Roshan respawn from Team Undying. Spectre gets an illusion. it's more damage than a double damage for Spectre, and that Roshan died really fast. I mean, fast spawn and a Roshan, and that's the second Roshan. That's so big for them.
That is tremendous for Team Undying, and Zoomer's got to be kicking themselves. I mean, he even went in to go check it, but it just was such a quick spawn.
Do you see how long
luck.
that spawn was? Because I didn't
like
actually
instant.
see. It was instant.
It must have been. Oh no, and Sammy now caught.
Ooh,
do they have
weird
enough
catch.
to kill him? Looking for the finish, trying to bring him down. He's down to such low AP. The Song of the Siren not gonna save him. Undying, looking good here in this game number 1. They've weathered the first storm. I mean, how much does that change things now?
No, I think Undying are going to win this game for sure now. Like, I think that their position, I mean, for sure, like, their position is very dominant. That was just a bad death from Sammy Boy. Because you know the enemy team Roshan, and then you just farm the camp closest to Roshan. So, and you're just all alone there. It's like, it's a little bit of like an inexperienced mistake, or I'm not too sure what it was. Maybe he's mad about the Roshan, they're yelling about stuff. But it's like, it demonstrates a lack of focus in this game, because that death can't happen. Not right after you lost an Aegis.
Well, down bottom, Gunner forced to pop that BKB and just go for the TP out. Rax is still hanging out here looking. Now with Cataclysm, there could be enough, but no, they're just gonna cut the waves. That's what he's looking for afterwards, or just TPing out.
Yeah, and we can see like one death on the Nagasar to Roshan, a 7k gold lead evaporates, and that 7k gold lead, I would have put like the odds at this game at pretty much even. I don't think Zoomers were ahead enough. Now when it's even, like I think it's a dying game to lose right now.
They are in a good position. That being said, we've seen crazier things, but this has always been that strength of Team Undying, is their ability to sort of stick through a game and not drop the ball. The question becomes now, like, you know, first of all, can Zoomers make a fabulous play? But second of all, are Undying going to be able to sort of stick with it and see it through?
Sorry, there's just so much happening in this game. I didn't even realize. Click on Saberlight. His build is lit. Like, Kai Assange, Eternal Shroud. That's a very Chad build, just very tanky. I think he disassembled his Aeon Disc for the Eternal Shroud and... Sorry, he disassembled his Vanguard, I can't speak English, for Eternal Shroud and Aeon Disc, just making the most of its gold.
Right. Well, interesting things going on here. Husky is going to get found.
He is alone.
This is nearby the rest of his team, but they're not going to opt to try and save him at all, so...
Wait, is he TPO?
TP out? Oh, what a god.
Tip him, tip him.
What a god.
No tips? Okay, 4 Zoomers are mentally destroyed. Because if I was position 5 and I'm at that play, like I'd literally yell at my teammates to tip me, you know? Because it's just so good. I mean, it made no difference because you're a useless, worthless support in the end, but it should feel good, you know? And if they're not feeling good about that play, then I'm a bit worried.
True. There's a fair point there. You know, it's one of those things where you need to find something big where you can sort of regain that momentum within the game. Start feeling yourself slightly. We'll have to see. I think that they started to pick up a gem too, or at least Abba had it queued up. He still hasn't been able to finish buying it yet.
Yeah, they really need that. Like, there's a sick ward in their base. There's a ward in both sides of the jungle. Undying, they just have great vision right now. Even a ward to catch the Nagasar and split push in their own jungle. And I saw for a moment there, like, 4 Zoomers heroes were stuck in their base, and you're playing a Nagasar lineup against Spectre. Like, if that isn't an indication of the state of the game, then I don't know what is, because that's awful. Like, you don't want to be stuck in your base Nagasar for Spectre.
Well, they do get this next tier of items, and they have been able to make a little bit of a move out here onto the map. Still not feeling great, but Sammy is farming up the enemy's triangle. So that's something here. Undying in the meantime, trying to make a move down bottom, see if they can take this tier 2 tower, and maybe looking for more.
Yeah, they do have the leveler on Spectre, and they're going to want to force 4 Zoomers back to base here. Axe and Nagasar are on the map here, but they're going to have to TP back. Sammy Boy's doing a good job of cutting waves, but, you know, what can you do? You have to come back to base.
True enough. BKB done now. They're going to pop that glyph, but game is looking rather rough. They also have the Timeless Relic right now on the Snapfire, getting some vision up on the high ground. And Saberlight TPing back to find Brax. Oh, they spot him. He didn't BKB again. He didn't see that the Saberlight was right on top of him. Oh, and they're even going to hunt for him. Brax pops the call, going to get chased down and killed. Tomato right on top.
And you can see, like, one of the signs of these really good teams. Man, those Naga illusions do nothing to Spectre.
Yeah.
Just Butterfly versus Illusion here is very strong conceptually, as you don't want to buy MKB on any of those heroes, but it's looking rough for him.
Husky gonna get chased down. Ulti is popped, has to back out of there, keeping that damage on. There's 4 staffs, there's freaking the psychic headbands, even pops now the Song of the Siren. Sammy just gonna run back inside the base, but they've used absolutely everything. They do have buyback on the Axe.
That was such a good play from Undying, though, to set up on the Axe there. They're feinting the high ground push bottom, so there's no way that Brax is going to think they're going for him.
Right.
But Undying, they're so fast. They're making this move, and they're already setting up for Gunner bottom here, you can see. This is what I think Undying's strength is, though. I think when the map gets split up, they're just as good. I think they're actually better than EG at this. And it's like a weird thing to say, because EG are like top 2 at the 2 majors in a row. But for catching heroes, when the map is split up, I think they do an extremely good job. They're just always on point. A lot of it has to do with like Moon Meander. You can think even back to his OG days, one of the best killers in Dota.
Absolutely. That Earthshaker, so quintessentially him. But Bryle, do they catch him? Oh, they knew right where he was.
And that was so close.
Off.
Sammy Boy had the Abyssal Blade, he had the spider legs, but they just couldn't quite find him there. And, you know, that's the difference. Sometimes that's all it comes to in Dota. The 2 picks that they got on Axe this game, barely getting him as he TPs out because, you know, he's not expecting a stun to come out. Whereas Undying, they're just getting out. We saw like 3 or 4 smoke dodges from the Undying side, and Nagasan could never get true map control. Even though he's 6-slotted, like, it's not a real 6-slot again. It's a Nagasaran 6-slot. He doesn't feel good about it.
Right, well, and I mean, he is, you know, 4,000 gold ahead of the Spectre right now. You can try and push the lanes. It feels like they've kind of regained some of that map control. But the question will be, when Undying do decide to actually take these fights, how do you win them? And it's looking a little bit rough right now for the Zoomers, as the Tornado will go. But Aui, I mean, you've been in plenty of these games as well, I'm sure. Like, things can sometimes go a little bit crazy, right? Like,
for sure.
We've seen wilder things.
Is there a fight here? They're smoking up on Undying. This is a good smoke. They can catch Naga.
Sammy catches them. Do they know they're a 1? Yes, they do. Jump, caught, dead so quickly. Now looking for more. Who are they going to find? Jumping away is Brax. They won't be able to catch him as he TPs out, and so too will Husky. Tagger again went right through in the burrow strike in this location. But yeah, man, losing the Naga like that one hurts.
It really does. And I mean, it's not like 4 Zoomers don't have options. In games like this, what Nagasara can do is she can split up the map in a way that your teammates can get pickoffs. They do have tools to do that with the Cataclysm, the Axe, and the Snapfire. The reason I'm feeling a bit defeatist about this game is because I think Undying have just done such a good job at playing the map, and they haven't given any of these opportunities. Nagasan's died for 50 with no buyback. You know, he has a leveler. This is going to be 2 or 3 Raxes here.
Game is looking rather rough.
Look at Bra.
Honor is going to just get pulled back in again. BKB popped, trying to back out. Dead on Husky. Now jumping forward. Brax trying to find himself a kill into Dubu, but that 4-staff away keeps him alive. And now Brax in no man's land. Undying, doing what they do best. They're going to have to buy back now and try and save him. Will get Brax away for the moment, as there's a heck of a lot of damage onto him. And they will be able to actually keep their second set of racks alive, but that 1 rack's going down. That one hurts, playing with the Nagasaran on your team. Sunstrike? Not enough.
Yeah, so they, instead of killing all the Raxes, Undying sort of chose to dive a little bit, maybe secure the game. Oh, I actually thought they had Viper Shard. Okay, so their play is probably better. And, you know, they forced out the Abaddon buyback. He actually got Furry ulted, and he couldn't press his ulti because, you know, he expects the automatically go off, but you're broken and just one-shot him. Maybe it kills you anyways, because you can't. Never mind. Anyway, so now the problem for Undying is that we saw like 6 Naga illusions like 10 minutes ago hit Tomato, and they did no damage. Who's gonna man fight the Undying heroes?
Uh-oh. Jump in. Gunner, he's the first one caught. Is there any save? Does have buyback though. Trying to play to get vision. The counter initiation from Braxton might be what they're looking for, but Sammy, he's getting gone on. Second round. Tornado completely whiffs. Burrow strike afterwards. The big jump in. Is there anything else left in the tank right here for the Zoomers? They get the call, Cataclysm. Is it going to be enough? They take down Dubu. Now looking for more though. Oh, and they found Gunner. That's a dieback for him. Godlike on Bryle. Sammy gets turned around upon as well, and they're going to be able to chase him down, kill him in the duration of the Song of the Siren, unless, oh no, all of the butterfly misses. They're still holding on for life. From downtown, though, tries to get him. Oh, they jump in front again, Brax, keeping his core alive. They're hoping for anything, some small semblance of a chance at victory. And Sammy gonna have to regen back up in Fountain as Undying set their sights on to that tier 3 tower. Taking a second set of racks here if they can.
Dire's middle tower.
God, what a hard game for them to deal with right now.
If you look at Invoker as a hero, the hero's picked for 2 spells. I guess 3 spells. It's Cold Snap with the Urn, it's Cataclysm, and it's Alacrity.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like, Naga Siren with this item build is the worst Alacrity user in the game for carries.
You're not wrong as the taunt pulls him in and staying alive yet again. Meanwhile, the winner's curse onto an Axe Illusion, but they got their eyes set on the burrow afterwards, and then a chance for a kill. Sammy goes down as well. GG. With that, Undying, they're going to draw first blood in this best-of-5 series.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, and I mean, for Zoomers, they had a good beat on the game, but I think they shouldn't be that worried. They've lost every single game won in these qualifiers, including to shitty teams like Arkosh. So this is just par for the course for them. It's part of the script.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see if the script continues to favor Undying, or if maybe going forward, Zoomers can make a couple of changes, maybe get that Naga Siren out of there. Now is 0-5 so far across all the qualifiers. We'll have to see what happens. But for now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break it down. See you then.